Okay, we're back. We're going to do this. I probably have about an hour and a half. Man, it is snowing like crazy. That is wild to me. But I probably have about an hour and a half to knock some of this out, so let's see where we can get. Yes, we found 2 moonstones. Actually 3. I put one away. Not too much longer. We have I think it might be around 29 or 30 that we get the hypnosis beam thing. And once we get that, he'll be able to do the Dream Eater techniques by himself. He won't need any setup or anything like that, and then he'll be ready to take on bigger deals like Sabrina. Oh my. That move is weak. This will take a second. But aside from Poison Sting, Nidorino can, he actually can't hurt Spoopy. There we go. Yes. There it is. That's what we need. Hypnosis. Okay, so right now we're going to keep Confuse Ray and we're going to get rid of Lick. So we're going to be able to put people to sleep, Dream Eat, Nightshade, and confuse them so even if they do try to hit me, there's a chance that they hit themselves anyway. Then, on top of that, the next thing to go, if we get like a Psybeam or Psychic or something like that, we may get rid of Confuse Ray, but we might not. It's a decision to make, because Dream Eater is a Psychic move. Nightshade is a Ghost move. Confuse Ray helps us in the long run, and this allows us to put people to sleep in general. So the setup might be just right already. He may have just the right move set that we need for him to be useful literally till the end of the game. And this is our team. I think we're running to the end of the game with this team right now, except for him. Nidoking is the last guy that will be replaced. I think he's going to be replaced for Aerodactyl once we start swimming. Which right now we're just clearing areas. Oh, well, I'm sure something is in there, but it's not important to us. We're not catching Mons. We're just wrecking shop at this point. Oh, did ya? Well, that's good that you found some Carbos. See, now we could do Hypnosis. Oh, it didn't affect him. There we go. Now he should go to sleep. Yep, I thought for sure that's what that move did. And there we go. Now we're back on Dream Eater. He can do it by himself. He no longer needs setup for that function. Solid. He's a dangerous mug now. Spoopy is a hard hitter on the team. Which means now there's only one person left that really needs to be pushed. We've got to get a decent move set on Hitmonchan. What's going on, man? Dang. Oh, you butthole. Okay, we're going to give up on that. Because for some reason we can't seem to nail the horsey, so Amp is just going to come over here and end it. All right. His bird Pokemon wants to scrap. Not sure that had anything to do with me, dude. Tired birdie. Got too excited about that scrapping, I guess. Goodbye. Yeah, we'll stay out for this one too. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think many of the attacks that he has can even do anything. Well, I'm doing fine. I cut a new Wonder Woman video today, putting the Wonder Woman on the shelf behind me and whatnot. So all of that is set up finally. There we go. Spoopy is 30. Now let's... Amp is the next one we need to get to 30. Badoo! You're told you're good for a kid. Okay, that's reasonable. Let's see what you got. Oh, you got a lot of Pokemon. That's a step up from a lot of other trainers you seem to run into. So far, you're rocking a Pidgey on your team. A high Pidgey that should have evolved by that point, but hey. Meowth, I think upgrades are anywhere... It's like 25 or 29, so I think you're still fine, technically. So far, I don't hate her team. Let's see what else she's got. And then a Rattata. Okay, now I'm going to start calling out your team a little bit here because... Now you're like, you got like a bird, which can cover normal ground, and you've got Meowth, which is normal, and you've got a rat, which is normal. You need some diversity in your team. A Pikachu? Okay. Okay. I use a Pikachu. I'm not going to crap on somebody else that does. You know, kind of like how poison guys don't get poisoned, I really feel like the electric guys should have an edge against that paralysis shit. Goodbye. Oh, didn't reach level 30. Let's see if we can fix... I don't think we're carrying paralysis heals right now. We're not. Awesome. Okay. Beauty has Rattata. Okay. Oh, yep, fully paralyzed. Ugh. There we go. Dang. Come on, hit that 30. Dang. I'm assuming you're another beauty? Yeah. Makes a little more sense for that kind of character, I guess. Oh. Paralyzed. Okay, there, him. That one's down. Come on. Damn. Ugh. Might need to heal here soon. Whoa. Sooner than I thought. Dang. That should be fine. Yep. Oh, well, there it is. There's the level 30 I was waiting for. Okay. Let's move Gloves up to the front because we really got to get some levels on him. If for nothing else than to get some attacks that are going to be worth it. Because right now he's a fighting type with no fighting moves. Strange. Like they start him with Comet Punch, but it can't be a fighting move because he's hitting the normal guys and he's doing nothing. Like it's just regular damage. Oh, he missed. No! Ugh. There. Oh, you butthole. Oh, good. Woke right up. Cool. Nope. Pedals can stay out. Okay, you are really stuck on this hypnosis technique that you got going here. So we're going to see if we can't sleep you rather than you sleep me. And it didn't work. But his worked. Woke right up. Now, at least it's not rap. I'm more than fine with those kind of moves. I just don't like rap. That rap glitch is broken. We have like a whole bunch of awakenings sitting here, so... No paralyze heals, though, which would be really helpful. We'll just go ahead and top him off. Okay. Oh, do they? Okay. They wish to make my acquaintance. Yeah, like, well, he's flying, so I wouldn't expect to do super effective against him. But I would against Meowth. I would. You know, Comet Punch, yeah, because it's a normal type move, and that's a psychic type move. So I have a fighting guy right now with normal and psychic attacks, and the other one isn't even an attack really. That was it. It just goes pew. Like I didn't even see an animation. Yeah, there we go. Now we're gonna switch. May as well play the type, and everybody's about 30 anyway, so just about everybody needs to get real experience now. Because we're going to start hitting gyms after we clear this side areas. Yeah, we will change. Goodbye, flying guy. Oh. Really? That's not... I was going to say, there had to be a reason. Whoop. Oh, this was special. Oh well. It's not that it makes that much of a difference in old Gen 1. Look at the left of that post. That was the trainer tip. You know, all these trainer tips that I'm seeing here probably should have been said a while back. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Good thing we have so many of them. Yeah. There must be something you can catch here that means something, but like I said, we're not catching stuff, so it don't matter. None of this matters. Let's go fight this dude over here. There you go. Knock a bird out. Okay. Yeah, we'll do Sparrow too. Give this one to Shell Shocker. Shouldn't be an issue. Even if he'd have got all 5 hits. Okay. I may use that on Ice Beam. You know what? Let's do that. Because that's a very low move. And it is one that's decent. Ice Beam is definitely decent to have in your arsenal. Let's pull this dude away from that area there. Don't miss. See what that added, like 1 move or something like that. 2. 2 extra ice beams. That's 2 more ice beams. I can't cry about that. Helps him knock out birds. It'll also make him useful against the dragons. Well, Gen 1. Was ice actually strong versus dragons at this point? I cannot remember. Nice. Withdrawal? No. Bring him out. Oh no. Damn. You don't, no, you actually don't have to use TMs to teach good moves to Pokemon. Some Pokemon are just higher tier. Like, Hypnosis and Dream Eater can just be learned naturally from a Haunter. And you get Thunderbolt naturally with Pikachu. You don't actually have to use that TM. It's just nice to get it so early. Okay, we're switching. Let Amp take this guy out. My Mons is getting tired. Just running through their abilities here. Goodbye, Odo. Oh. There we go. Bam. Nice. Not that he needs it, but regardless. Let's, for the sake of, we're going to go back. We're not going to miss a trainer fight. We are going to miss a trainer fight because I can't get to him now because we went this way. Maybe I could pull him down and out of my way. But then he'd be in my way when I try to come back. Punch a bird to doom. Bow, 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 bow. Man, I need a fighting move. Oh, well, that's all you had. You could just be fast now, so you're done. That's 2 of my guys that are too tired now. That was kind of dumb. I shouldn't have wasted that. He had like nothing left. Yeah, not really concerned here. Bye. Oh, he lived. Oh, shit. Never mind. Gloves is out until he heals up a bit. Is this the dude we left behind? Yeah, it is. Yes. A motorcycle dude, huh? Yeah, send him out. You know, okay, I don't know why it was decided at 2 in the morning to give him dig, but I mean, I guess it is working out. Bam. Okay, he's 32. We'll pull him back for a second. Petals really shouldn't be fighting a bunch of birds and shit, though. Gloves is tired, so Amp is up. And that's the dude we pulled back, and the reason we couldn't fight that dude, but we fought that dude, so now we're going to move on. Nope, nothing there. Nope, nope, nope. Okay, let's fight this dude. Do. Wreck through Pidgeotto here. Literally without question. Pharaoh, I'm not worried about that. Pretty much I'm noticing that we've hit that area in the game where we're not really worried about anything. We pretty much have everything covered. Now we're just waiting to get our hands on our last guy for our team and then run them up through the Elite Four. Up. No, because I don't have fly, so I have in fact not taught my birds how to fly. And I don't have a bird yet. I need Aerodactyl. That's our bird this run. That's our guy who's going to fly us around. Looks like the snow has died out quite a bit. It's so ridiculous that I'm at the end of April and I'm talking about how the snow has died out. Yeah, okay. Send it out. Dead. 32. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll walk down this path and see. Oh, man. There's people everywhere, and our mons are getting tired. Coughing. And actually, I knew that before we even got over here. I really should have switched to my other guy. Not that Amp isn't fully capable of doing this even paralyzed. Muck. Now let's bring out Shell Shocker. Dig. Oh my. Not good. Pretty sure we're carrying antidotes. Yeah, we're carrying a good deal of them. Whoop. Okay. Doodle-doo. Yeah, I've heard of them. We're not going after them this run. Oh, that duck's an idiot. Get rid of it. Why? Because you literally based your entire possible outcome on one frickin' Pokemon. One bird. Not that birds are bad, but one bird. More than likely it's poison, guys, so here they come. Do, 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 do. We sure could use that Pokemon Center. Yeah, here comes Grimer. Dig. Almost out of this. Here comes this guy. Dig. Just digging holes everywhere. Somebody's going to come out here to mow this field and they're going to be like, what the shit? Stupid Pokemon battles. Yeah, like if you're a dad in this universe and you're just supposed to like mow your front lawn before you get a city ordinance against you or whatever, like, and your kids are always outside doing their Pokemon battles with their Sandshrew and their whatever, you go out to your front lawn and it's just a bunch of freaking holes, just dirt everywhere, yards worst in the neighborhood. It's just an area to catch things. Yep. Oh, it's a ditto. Neat, but we really don't care. Jump? Alright, let's go. Send out your poison, guys. Last dig. Yeah, in terms of the channel in general, I think we need to redo the lists, and that's a stupid amount of work. But I've noticed that our lists are off, and we are also missing lists for certain things. We never made certain playlists that were important. Like there should have been a writer list and a Sentai costume list and a robot list and a series review list and a Western hero review list and just a bunch of stuff like that, and we didn't do that. Well, Spoopy is like out of moves. Gloves is out of moves. Amp still has moves. Petals is fine. He just really shouldn't be fighting a bunch of poison guys. It's Nidoking time. Yeah, bring out Grimer. I'll just thrash him too, I guess. Yeah, send him out too. More thrashing. Yeah, I know. Nick will go on a zero spree and just drop zeros through the entire thing. It's craziness. I was talking about it last night though. Like Nick is still kind of influenced by that era that we were in, where it's just fun to hate on everything, AVGN and shit like that. Stuff sucks and it's funny. And sometimes he'll just kind of go on this rampage where he's like, it's all getting a zero. Everything from this point, because of him, is just getting a zero. And then he'll do that. He'll actually follow through with that and just drop zeros like crazy through an entire episode. Or he'll pick one thing and be like, his helmet is sideways, zero. And I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. And because of that, his zero list is going to be substantial. In fact, I would wonder if he's dropped more zeros than Shane. Shane may have started his little list, but I think even though Shane is in way more episodes than Nick may have actually dropped more zeros depending on the situation. All those people down there to fight. Oh, freaking metronome. Man, with that idea, if we're not there, it's a zero. He has a lot of zeros because he missed an excruciating amount of episodes. Like, that's the reason that sometimes when people call out the hosts, they will skip him because he was missing for a ridiculous amount of episodes. So people started coming to see us as the main cast. Let's see what that was. Rage. Ugh. Is this the dude that would have given us an egg had I actually went out of my way? Nope, we do not have 50 kinds of Pokemon, I promise you that. You know what? Rate our stuff and see, even though we haven't... We caught 28. I'm actually surprised about even that. And yeah, he would have given us the experience share, but you have to... It takes up a slot, and then you only get 5 guys. Oh, yes. Poke Center. Ah, damn it. Yeah, let's go Poke Center it up. Them Mons are tired Mons. Heal. Dang with the heal. Needing it. Ah! Well, not all of it was forced. He quit the show for a while and was finding he moved, and that made it more difficult for him to get here, so he purposely said that he wasn't going to be showing up for a lot of episodes. And then for a while he actually did quit the show, like just burnt out. He just kind of left for a while, and then there's a lot of other circumstances that took place where like we were meeting at different places and things like that. He missed a lot of episodes, and they were for multiple reasons. Okay, let's walk across the bottom here and fight all these guys. Bellsprout gets his face punched off. Punchy, punchy. Punchy, punchy. Yup, tired, tired. Wake up, Gloves. You're gonna have your face melted off. Okay, let's switch you out. You evidently don't want to fucking wake up. Bye. You got more work tonight. Go to sleep and stay that way. There we go. Damn. Tangela is just grass. He's one of the few people that are actually just grass, so we're going to come out here and shoot him again with this ice beam. You know, this may be one of the very first teams I've had in a very long time that I did not have fire anywhere on my team. That's actually quite rare for me. Fire and lightning are almost always on my teams. Bird time. Punch that big bird. Ugh. Punch more. There we go. Learn a fighting move. Yes, I know, your attack is greatly rising, but then you just like leer at me, so what does it matter? Oh no! Right, I get that. Oh man. Oh, come on, dude. Learn a fighting move. You need some moves. I hate this move, but you need some damn moves. You can learn it. You know what? You need some damn moves. I don't have either of those TMs, so I can't teach him those. But it would be nice. Holy shit. Oh, you needed to hit back with more than that. You're screwed now. Nidoking time. Bye. Huh. I had one that was like that. Heck, we used a computer for a while where the screen never actually worked. We just used to hook up to the TV in order to do the show. There is a shop of a bunch of moves, but in my opinion, they're not really good moves. They're like some stuff like Whirlwind, and some of them are okay, some of them are not okay. Like, it's very few moves in that shop are actually worth spending the $2,000-$3,000. That's a long time. Well, 33 isn't too far off. Yeah, in fact, it's his next level. If he can just punch his way there. Oh. He's going to have to learn strength, because I have to have at least one guy with strength or I can't make Victory Road. This old game and its HM dog shit. I have to have a guy with Fly. I have to have a guy with Surf. That'll be my turtle, of course. I have to have a guy with Strength. I had to have a guy with Cut. And this playthrough, I was determined not to have one of those guys be a, quote, HM slave. They had to have a purpose on the team. Oh. Damn it, gloves. I'm back. I was supposed to pick up my mom and everything today. I had some stuff I had to do. And now it sounds like because of all the snow and everything, she doesn't really care to do it. She's not used to all this snow and everything, so she's under the impression it's like a problem for me. And I'm like, I'd come get you. It's nothing for me. This is a joke in terms of normal snow for our area. Man, I need that level 33. You need some moves. Oh, I bet. That's no joke. I bet you driving is not fun. In fact, oh, wonderful. I don't have Comet Punch. It's rage time. Poke. That was a critical hit. That was luck. Now his rage is building. Now he's tougher. Bam. There it is. Learn something. Yes. I needed some damn fire. Like, legitimately needed some fire anyway. This is one of those glitches in the game, though. In the original Gen 1, if you were raising stats, there came a point where you raise your stats too much and it would actually roll over and you would get weaker. That was possible in the original game. So, like, if you're using a move like Rage and it just keeps building your attack stat, you can actually reach a point where it does a rollover and you go right back to being as weak as you could possibly be. Okay. Petals just simply isn't equipped to deal with these people yet. Spoopy can deal with some poison, guys. Maybe we'll go knock out the poison gym. It's right over there, isn't it? After this, I'm pretty much on that warpath. I'm on my way to the gyms. I was looking to knock out some of the surrounding stuff and get some levels. Now, after we do this, after we beat this whole thing, probably go to yellow. Take it to the next step up. Really see how the improvements were a real deal that made the game run better, because it did. Yellow runs better than red and blue. It simply does. There were screw-ups in the original game, and the balancing is awful in the first games. Like, at the very beginning of the game, and it's not a fucking difficulty choice, it's poor design. If you pick Charmander, you have to find a way to contend with Brock. And there's literally nothing you can catch that matters. There's bugs, they can't fight them. There's you can get like a Nidorino, and he can learn double kick at level 45. There's just nothing you can catch at the beginning of the game in red that gives you even a chance. Where in yellow, they realize that they screwed up and they fix it almost exactly. Like, they give people moves a little sooner that makes sense, that give you an actual chance. They purposely allow you to catch things like Mankey, so that you can have a low kick move or something to that nature. Like, they knew that they'd screwed up. They knew the balancing was wrong, and they fixed it. Yellow version is superior to red and blue. It is. In terms of game design, you don't like Pikachu, I get it. You didn't want him as your starter, whatever. But then that argument is invalid too, because you can literally get the starters. You can get Red's like official team. Like you can get a Snorlax, you can get all 3 starters, you can get the Pikachu, and then you can get a Lapras or you can get an Eevee. All things that he found that are kind of like a major point to his character in general. Let's move pedals up. Go fight this lady. No, in red and blue, there's not a patch of grass with a Mankey. You can't get it. There is in yellow. You can't get the Mankey in red and blue that early. At least not in red. We walked around in red because we were looking for Nidorino, and there is no Mankey. And the same place where you find the Nidorino is where you find the Mankey. I think in blue version, you may be able to find it. Let's put him to sleep and start. Well, let's do acids. Yeah, there's really nothing you can catch at the beginning of the game that gives you a literal fighting chance against Brock other than leveling up. That's poor level design. It's poor game design. Look at that thing. That thing is the stuff of nightmares. What the shit? Yeah, I couldn't care less about the CW shows. If ever I get a chance to go back and I feel like wasting that much time, I'll watch them. Once I fell behind, I pretty much just kind of gave up on it. There's too much of it. No, I'm telling you, I don't think you can get him. I could find out. If it is, then you would spend an awful long time there looking for him. I'm sure of it. No, you can't get him. See? That's where he is, those 4 locations. You have nothing that can contend with Brock that early in the game, unless you purposely picked a starter that can deal with him that early in the game. You're just screwed. there's a lot of nostalgia tied to the original Red and Blue. And while I like this game a lot, and I'm enjoying this playthrough, I am. Like, it is impossible to deny that the games weren't perfect. They were great because we were young and they gave us that sense of challenge and that feeling of finding something that you'd never found, catching the creatures, testing them out, discovering things that you and your friend, your friend doesn't know. Like, well, I actually spent time on Beedrill and he has so-and-so moves, or he's strong versus this, or I used this to deal with that. Or did you know that, if you take a Sandshrew or a Geodude in to fight that Raichu, he can't hurt you because his electric attacks don't have an effect? Like, that kind of stuff was not told to you in the game. All it was told to you was, hey, there's some type advantages here. But it didn't tell you exactly how to utilize them or what you were looking for. You discovered all of that. So it gave you this feeling like you were a trainer. You were discovering things. You were pushing the boundaries. You were getting better. And before you knew it, you were just this monster that had this team of like 6 guys. And no matter what showed up, you had a situation that you could deal with. Like right now, I could have switched over and I could have used Dig or something like that. And I could have wrecked right through this guy without ever actually having to fight him. No. Would you say that there's too many Power Rangers? Would you say there's too many comic books? I mean, that's the nature of a material that grows that big. Would you say there's too much Star Wars? Would you say, like, because if you would say there's too much Star Wars, then I have to call you out because that's a load of bullshit because you read the expanded shit. So, like, no, of course there's not too much material. It's just that I'm one person and there's only so much time that I have. There's only so much that I can do. All right, we'll heal up. I never even started watching that. It's Wanda. The only Wanda I give a shit about resides in Spawn. That's not true. That's not the best way. That's a ridiculous amount of money. For way less money, you could just sit down with the Disney Plus or with the CW stuff. You probably sit down with Netflix or whatever and you just watch it. Like, that's almost ridiculous to think. Like, that's a lot of money. Like, dude, especially if you've upgraded to play Blu-rays and things like that, that's a ridiculous amount of money. To assume that the best way would be the Blu-rays, like, I'm not sure what job you have. I really don't, but there's no way I could afford that. Oh, I did not mean to have him at the front of my team. I'm in trouble. They may be. They may be interesting. We are not ready for this gym. I'll be really surprised if we even wreck through this one gym. This one guy here. Oh no! Yeah, we're screwed here. The anime straight up lies to you. It says, "Hey, if you use," they say, "you go get a ghost, and that ghost is going to be a big deal against psychics." No, it's not. Like, it's really not. Not in the original first gen. The only thing that really kicks a psychic's ass is a bug, and the only bug with the strongest move is Beedrill, and it's worthless. Your best chance is just psychic versus psychic and run the gauntlet. Okay, we are not ready for that gym. We simply are not ready for that gym. We're not too far off from that gym, but we're not ready for it yet. Go do this bike road here, and I think we'll be fine. No, no, I haven't done the grass gym. I haven't bothered with it yet. Of course, you don't have Blu rays for the MCU shows yet. Well, it depends on what you consider in terms of your MCU. You can get things like Daredevil and things like that. I mean, you. Bow! Pretty sure that dude down there is birds too. So let's move Nidoking up. Yep, I figured so. And in terms of like those shows, that's business. Dude, the entire world is business. It's business for every single thing that you'll pretty much do in your entire life. Fuck you, one hit kill drill pick motherfucker. That was luck. 25% chance attack. I'm still not carrying any revives. I noticed that. Haven't carried a revive the entire game. But no, like, why would they put them out on Blu-ray? You say that that would get them more money or something like that. You could try to argue that angle, but I would argue that just like video games and just like comic books, exclusives sell stuff. They do. They bring people to your property. Why do some people pick DC and some people pick another company over another company? Well, that's very simple. If you like Spider-Man and things of that nature, you end up on the side of Marvel. That's business. That's exclusivity. They're not giving their Spider-Man character to DC, even if DC has the greatest possible storyline ever for him, because that would be stupid. They would lose their exclusivity. This is also true in video games. You don't give Mario to the PC. You don't give Mario or allow Pokemon to be produced on the Xbox because you lose the exclusivity that make people buy your product. So when you're talking about pushing people towards Disney right now has these huge shows that people want to see. And guess what? There's only one way to see them, exclusively on streaming. And what do people do? They buy the streaming service. I bought the year streaming service. I bought it specifically because there were things I wanted to see. And even if I disagree with exclusivity sometimes, because it does irritate me, I didn't like the fact that CBS decided that their Star Trek programs were going to be all streaming and they weren't ever going to be on TV the way that I remembered. I wanted Star Trek to return to television. I didn't get that. It went to streaming. But you know what I did? I bought the CBS streaming app because I knew that that's where I was going to see the thing that I wanted to see. That's exclusivity. It sells units. It pushes units. It has forever, and it will be a business practice that will reign true for years to come. It just makes sense. Hell, that's even true in music. There are certain labels that will buy out somebody, and then will basically they'll have that label. Like, look at the Beatles. The Beatles are all under a single umbrella, and if you want to listen to the Beatles, man, there's only one way you're going to do it. You're going to pay for the exclusive right that owns the Beatles, which I believe is Apple, if I'm not mistaken right now. And even if you don't count Apple as a label, well, it kind of is, because it owns the Beatles, and you can't get much more exclusive in terms of music than that. Okay, we're going to switch. Stay asleep. Okay, taking out poison guys here. Oh. I mean, it'll still work. I just wasn't expecting that. Bam. Hitmon should be able to take out that grass gym almost by himself at this point. So maybe we'll head back that way and take out the grass gym first. Plus, another reason I'm not caught up is because there's so much shit out there that I want to watch or want to do that takes precedent. Like I want to rewatch some of the old shows that I grew up with, the Nickelodeon shows that are currently on Paramount. Like that's big for me, and I'm just about done with the entire run of the Nickelodeon Turtles, the CGI ones that ran right before these new ones. Like, holy shit, that has been good. And I'm on the very last season, and they just did a Turtles in Time episode where they get struck to this separate universe, and it's kind of like back in the Dynasty eras and whatnot. And it's an entire 5 episodes with Usagi Yojimbo. Like, I was like, holy shit, it's digging so deep into Turtles mythology. I love it. I love it. It is the best Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series ever put to film. Ever. It's just so good. And I have about 10 episodes left on that. And that's hours out of my day. And I only get like 3 to 4 hours a day, if that. So it's watch hour-long episodes on on MCU, or cut through other stuff that I want to see as well. And that's pretty much what hits me and keeps me having a difficult time catching up with stuff. I'm not worried about their continuity for one reason. Because the only thing you have to do is say multiverse, and if that proves a multiverse, now they can do whatever they want. I also think that DC does better standalone movies, and that they should really focus on that. Like they should only do movies that step outside of personalized continuity when there's like a huge event or something like that. And they really should have been doing that from the beginning. Because like Aquaman, that movie works fine on its own. It works fine on its own merit just being an Aquaman movie. And the Wonder Woman movie is fantastic and works fine just sitting alone in its own merit. And yes, even 84, yes, that was a good movie. I finally seen it. I can argue now that it's fine. It fits Wonder Woman exactly. I don't see the problem that I'm hearing people talk about. I really miss the continuity problems. But like it did a damn good Joker movie for what it's worth. Like it's doing standalone films justice. It's just not bringing people together very well. And maybe that's because maybe they should just do their own thing. I don't need everything to be a connected universe. I would be more than happy with Wonder Woman forming her own set of movies and then getting an actor that plays Batman specifically for crossovers in those movies. And that's it. I only have to worry about her continuity. And then same with every other person. If you want to build off of a Batman universe with the new actor that's about to rock that universe, then you do that. You use him and you bring in actors to portray characters that you want in situations. And every now and then, if you want to bring in the same actor because the actor knocks it out of the park, like J. Jonah Jameson, for instance, is just so good as one specific actor, well, then maybe you just do what the Spider thing is doing right now and you just recast him, and people are not that stupid. They'll figure it out. They know it's not the same J. Jonah Jameson. MCU doesn't prove that. In fact, I could tell you right now that if you take most MCU movies and put them on their own and they have to stand on their own merit without a bunch of fucking Tony Stark crossovers, it doesn't work. Look at those Spider-Man films and tell me they're the best Spider-Man films we've ever got. Prove to me that they are better than the Sam Raimi standalone universe. Prove to me, because I'm telling you, you can't fucking do it. Because Uncle Tony Stark makes that movie happen. It builds the entire Spider-Man character and is a massive disservice to the entire Peter Parker legacy at its finest points. And it's nearly inexcusable. And they didn't just do it to him once, they did it to him fucking twice. 2 movies where Spider-Man has none of his own continuity. It's all built off fucking Tony Stark. Unnecessary. I don't buy into it. I don't buy into everything that the MCU is just great because it's fucking great. Tell me why it's great. Tell me why Quicksilver was killed in one fucking appearance. Why? Why did they do that with their character? Tell me why the MCU is now going to have to explain that mutants are a thing. Where have they been? Are you going to fix all that continuity? Or is it just going to, are they going to just use this Doctor Strange movie to just all of a sudden explain that mutants were always a thing or something like that? They're just going to do a big, oh my god, magic and the universe changed, and then, but nobody's going to cry about that. They're going to give it to the MCU like, oh my god, the MCU, that was brilliant, I can't believe it, oh my god, the MCU. But they're not going to shit on them the same way that they shit on DC for doing almost the exact same thing. Neither one of them are perfect. And it kind of blows me away that everybody just kind of sees them as perfect. Like, I don't get it. Like, where are the Fantastic Four? And I get that Marvel didn't own them. I get it. But you should have at least been putting hints in to the fact that they existed, because now you're going to have to bring them into the continuity, and half of their stuff is going to be missing, or it's already been done by other characters that had no business doing that stuff. Like the fact that they made Tony Stark pretty much the smartest guy on the entire fucking planet. Why? Why is he the smartest guy in existence? Well, because Reed Richards wasn't around. But he never even drops an iota of understanding to that either. He never actually goes in and says, oh, well, thanks for the compliment, but there is one guy on Earth that's a little bit smarter than me. They never play that concept. So now when you introduce Reed Richards, he's always going to be compared to Tony Stark as if Tony Stark learned, quantum physics in a day. Bull fucking shit. He was their fix-all be-all for the universe that they'd created. And because of that, now we're going to have new problems in the future that deal with the fact that they did that. Because other characters have been pushed to the wayside. Like, where is Ben Parker? And I know that he's dead, but where is he? Why are we not allowed to say his fucking name? How come Spider-Man has been handed every single piece of ingenuity and tech in his arsenal? Like, am I supposed to believe that Peter Parker is actual worthwhile character that deserves anything now? Now that he's been freaking created off the back of Uncle Tony Stark? And he's not the only character, to be fair. There are others that are going to have massive problems. Yeah, they did do Crisis already, but we didn't see how Crisis hit every single universe. Heck, even the fact that the two Flashes meet up definitely mean that Crisis was happening in their universe at the same time that it was happening in other universes. And I don't care what you want to tell me, we never saw the Anti-Monitor. That thing that we saw was not the Anti-Monitor. It wasn't. I don't give a shit. It wasn't. There are plenty of things that are done in the series that need a movie budget. Like, do you remember Smallville when they introduced Darkseid? He was like a weird lava man. He was like made of rocks and he was glowing red in his cracks and stuff like that. Like, what was that? Or the fact that they defeated Doomsday with a push. Push. Doomsday. Biggest threat ever. Fuck him. It's easy to call out anything that you want to call out, but like there's people don't even give the writers a chance. Like they're shitting on it before it ever even happens. Unless it's fucking Marvel, then oh my god, did you hear that Marvel is gonna fucking come in my mouth? Marvel's making plenty of mistakes as well. Yeah, why? Why does he look like that? Snyder is not the end-all be-all of the freaking universe. I don't understand why that happens constantly. People are all gung-ho about restore the Snyderverse. Now I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that cut yet. But like, is it that great? If I was them, I would fall into centralized universes and I would just play off the fact that you already have a Wonder Woman that works, run with it. You already have an Arthur Curry that works, run with it. And quite personally, from what I've seen from him, um, he's good at retelling other people's stories, but he's usually not good at sticking the landing. Lexi came in and laid down behind me. Well, holy shit, punch that guy right to death. Let's wake this guy up and punch him. Holy crap. Ugh. There we go. I haven't seen it yet. I can't speculate to the problem that you're having with it, but I'll tell you that right now, without a doubt, me and you don't share the same vision because you didn't care for the Wonder Woman movie and I thought it was fantastic. You were like mad about the ending when the ending to me makes absolute perfect sense. Oh, you butthole. Oh, not as bad as I thought. A guy fingering his burger? I don't know, man. You're calling out stuff I can't even speculate to. I haven't seen it. Nor am I about to buy the HBO right now to see it. Like I can't do it. I can't justify it. It's supposedly coming out on Blu-ray soon, and I've already got 4 streaming networks, so that's when I'll see it. That's how I'll see it. It's just it all comes down to your amount of time, and I can't argue or speculate anything with you that I haven't seen because I refuse to do it because I don't know anything about it. Oh, I'm not that heavy. That shouldn't be a big deal. Good. Gloves is just about out. Whew. Finally got to that last super potion. Be a rebel. Yeah, but you just got done talking about how you didn't really like it, so are you saying you're gonna buy it? I plan to get it. I plan to get it. I have the first one. I'll get the second one. I'm going to at least give it a shot. I'm going to try it out. Yeah, man. Later on. Nice. Okay, that's the end for gloves. He's gonna throw these last couple punches that he's got. Oh, yeah, I'll see it when it comes out on Blu-ray. I'll see it, and then I'll be able to argue with people about what they think as opposed to what I think. But I don't argue things that I just simply don't know, and I haven't seen it, and I can't have an opinion about it. Okay, we're gonna set you out now. This guy in the middle here. That was nice. Next video coming out is going to be putting a Wonder Woman shelf together, and I know that it's going to have to be followed by another video. It's going to have to be followed by a talk about Superman, probably. I don't know yet. I'll see how it goes over. No, we don't always want things to connect. It's nice sometimes. It does us some favors, but no, we don't always want them to connect. Why do we? Why is it we've entered this age where movies can't stand on their own? Does the Mission Impossible movies, do they have to be tied to the overall narrative of the original series? Do they have to be? Do they have to be a shared universe between the original series and then the films? Star Trek is built to be like that. So it's an understanding that these are the same people moving into movies and that there's a universe and a continuity. And when movies are built that way, it's fine. But not every movie has to be that way. Do we have to claim that everything needs to be interconnected? Was there any reason to take the Blade films and like force them to be merged with some other universe? Do they have to be mixed with the Dracula movies? Did the Dracula movies happen and that's the reason that Blade is a thing? Like, no. No, it's unnecessary. Like, can you just watch the original Frankenstein and appreciate it for what it is? Yes, because the movie was standalone and you didn't need a bunch of other movies to understand what you were doing with it. Where if you just jumped in, if the only character you liked was something from, who knows, just for argumentative purposes. In fact, if your favorite character was Spider-Man, you got fucked by the intercontinuity. Because that is the character that foremost stands alone. He doesn't really do the team thing. But because they were forcing him to be part of this interconnectivity, it really kind of screwed his movies. Sure, they're decent movies, they're fine, but Parker doesn't feel like Parker. And then because of interconnecting movies, sometimes character tropes and personalities don't quite work with each other the way that you think they would. And it's because of that when the DC movies try to put everybody together, they tried to follow this idea that these movies, everybody has to have a different personality. And so they took characters like Barry, and for some reason Barry acts like Peter Parker, or it just makes no sense. We don't need to see Batman's origin story. But that doesn't mean that he has to be interconnected through a bunch of other movies in order for him to work. If you already know his origin stories, you move on with it. You just start the movie halfway through some other form of continuity that you've already been building that the people will just deal with. In fact, they did that in the '89 Batman, and it worked fine. In the '89 Batman, they don't tell you a bunch of his backstory. It starts and he's already been Batman for a while. It can be done. And those movies were standalone, the '80s movies. They didn't need extra continuity. You didn't have to have Superman's, like, the Superman stuff that happened before that didn't have to happen, and they didn't have to be connected. They were movies that stood on their own as very fine movies, as just movies. We don't need the Christian Bale Batman to be part of a bigger universe. He works in the idea that he was created in his own universe, his own connected little thing. And because all they had to do was focus on telling very powerful Batman stories, the movies were fucking fantastic. Because they didn't have to include all this other stuff from all these other movies that happened in all this other way. And then force me to suspend my disbelief that every single person associated with Peter Parker was all dusted and all did the 5-year skip. How come he didn't come back and his friend was 5 years older? How come he didn't come back and MJ was 5 years and moved away from the school that she'd originally attended? How come his teacher's the same? Like, everybody dusted, the flip of a coin, 50% of the population, and it just so happens that everybody that was associated with Peter Parker, how come he didn't come back to figure out that Aunt May had lived 5 years without him and was forced to deal with the fact that he was gone and he wasn't coming back, and she didn't know where he went, and she had no choice but to assume that he was dusted like some of the others. Because that's too serious for Peter Parker, one of the more serious characters in the MCU, or no, sorry, not in the MCU, but in Marvel. But they couldn't play that angle because they already decided that if he was going to fit into the MCU, they needed a funny guy. So they picked their character trope from the beginning. He's a funny child that receives most of everything that he receives. And he does almost nothing for himself. And they chose this because of a shared universe. He's not making responsible decisions. And he's not learning the outcome of what responsibility actually means. He's just flubbing. And there's no real repercussion to that flub. Like how he screws everybody over and jerks out on the mathletes thing or whatever, the higher learning deal that he was in. But he doesn't get forced out of that class. He comes back after he literally basically abandoned them. They have no idea where he's been or what's going on whatsoever. And then he just comes back and they're like, "Oh, welcome back, Parker. Here's your jersey," or whatever. Why? Why does he get that? Because there's no repercussion. Because there's no responsibility. Because he's the funny guy of the combined universe. That's the role that they've put him in, which destroyed what Parker was. There was 100 other funny guys they could have put in that position, but they didn't want to put those guys in that position. That wasn't what they were going for. They wanted the shared universe. The Spider-Man movies standing alone have told better Peter Parker stories than the Spider-Man movies of shared universes. And that's just one character we're getting into. Other characters may have really thrived in the shared universe thing, but that's because they were allowed to be who they were. So far, some of the other characters that got stuck in the shared universe were never allowed to be the people they were supposed to be. So to put it lightly, no, we don't want everything to always be connected. Sometimes self-contained stories with self-contained characters are simply better. Not always, not always. But there is merit to it. That sometimes a standalone story is 1,000% better. Just look at Aquaman. Look at how when Aquaman got to do his own movie by himself, it was a much better movie than the movies he appeared in with other people. Because they had to play character tropes at that point in order to make the movie work. Like, where's the truly tragic Hulk movie? How come Hulk is always funny and fun? Have you read a funny, fun Hulk book? Where the fuck did they get that? That's shared universe. He has to fill a character role because you have to have certain characters in a movie in order to work. It's been proven over and over and over again. Ninja Turtles, Ghostbusters. They fill very specific roles on the team, and that makes them all important, and that makes everybody memorable, and that makes the movie a big deal. So the shared universe actually has its own kind of crutch that nobody seems to think about. We are not utilizing the characters to their fullest because they're not standalone movies, and because, quite frankly, Marvel wouldn't know how to handle that. Because Marvel is very interested in everything they do being like funny and fun. Everything. Nothing is serious in the Marvel universe. It's all funny and fun. Even when it's the worst possible shit ever, we just find a way to make jokes and make funny fun of it. I don't know what I think of that movie, to be fair. It was okay. It was okay. It was a standalone Hulk movie. At least he wasn't funny. He was the Hulk, finally. Well, I don't hate them. I don't. I can call out all their bullshit, but I can also enjoy them for what they are. They're not the same thing. They're not the same thing. The comics are different. But at the same time, the comics can be called out for their dumb shit too. Like the fact that how come all these big giant world-ending events keep happening in other people's books and there's no heroes around to do anything about it? How come Spider-Man is always the guy that swings by and notices the Rhino literally running through buildings? And he's like, "Oh no, I better do something about that." Where the fuck is everybody else? Like, why do we just let that shit go in comic books? How many situations could literally be handled by other characters that just are? Like, especially in New York. You want to tell me that in New York, the home of the X-Men and all these other big characters, that there's never anybody around? Somehow Spider-Man can fight Ghost Rider in the middle of town fucking square, wreck entire buildings, and put people's lives in danger, and like the Avengers never come to stop it. They're always just busy. They're busy. Something else is going on for the Avengers right now. Bullshit. They can't always be busy. But there's a level of suspension of disbelief that you have to accept either one of the medias. No, you don't need multiple heroes to deal with one villain. That's fucking ridiculous. But if you're going to tell me that it's better, that the comic books are more real or the comic books are more serious, then where the fuck is everybody? How come Spider-Man doesn't swing down across the skyline one time, and instead of coming across a villain that's doing these horrific things, how come he doesn't run into, like, how come he doesn't often run into situations that have already been handled? Like, where is everybody? What are they doing? It has nothing to do with that stuff. That we need multiple people in every book. We don't. But if we're going to tell gigantic stories where we're going to put hundreds of people at risk, how come nobody else is noticing? You can't tell me that the Avengers just look out their window, see Spider-Man dealing with a goblin that's flying around the city, that's throwing pumpkin bombs in people's windows and literally causing mass destruction, and they go, he's got it. He's got it. What if he doesn't got it? What if there's literally somebody else that could handle it better? And that other person that could handle it better is literally fucking having a coffee right now. I'm stuck in this fucking infinite rap. He's gonna do this till I die. Fucking dog shit. No comic book has cohesive continuity. That's the problem I'm telling you. It doesn't make any sense. Hell, look at how could Superman books be continually running if Justice League books are continually running, if every single week there's a world-ending event that needs the Justice League's attention? How? How does it make sense? How does it ever make sense? It doesn't. That's part of letting go. It's part of accepting the fact that the continuity will not ever be perfect, because it won't be. At some point, you have to take a step back and accept what is. There's a level of disbelief, a suspension of disbelief that you have to deal with the movies, and there's a suspension of disbelief that you have to deal with the comics. And there's a different method of storytelling in both of those aspects. And both of them kind of need to be respected, or you're going to lose both of them. Just like TV has a different formula than movies, and comics have a different formula, and books have a different formula. And all of them have their own place, depending on what it is that you're willing to deal with at the time, what you're willing to forgive or accept or enjoy. But if you want to nitpick every little thing, I just proved that you can easily do it with every one of the medias. No, and I don't think the New 52 was a mistake. I think it got an awful lot of comic book readers on board that you're seeing today. I don't believe in automatically shitting on material just because it's something that I necessarily wasn't unbelievably entranced with. Sometimes stuff is different. And sometimes if you give it a chance and you see where it's going, it works out very well. There were very solid Batman stories told in the New 52. In fact, some of the greatest Batman stories ever told, like The Court of Owls. That was the New 52, the DC New 52. So no, it's ridiculous to assume that it was bad for any real reason. Oh my. I need to cure that or we're going to be in trouble. Yes, rebirth was necessary. It is necessary to reboot continuity every now and then. I'm also not 100% understanding why that's such a pain in the ass too. Like, why do people hate the fact that continuity has to be reset from time to time? Let's say we never reset the continuity. Let's go with what you just asked right there. Was rebirth necessary? No, 100% wasn't necessary. There was no reason to reset the continuity. Let's just assume that Superman still has the power to accidentally sneeze galaxies away when he has a cold. That's just a normal thing. We just accept it. It's in all forms of continuity because we never reboot the continuity. Ever. Ever. Because why would we? Why would we assume that there's any reason to ever have to reboot continuity? It's all perfect, right? It's all stories that can be told? No, it's not. At some point you have to ask, like, there's people's jobs or these people's attitudes or these people's quips. And you have to say, if this person really existed in today's world, could that person even exist? And you're going to come across the answer, no, they can't. They can't. They simply can't. It is immensely important for comics to reboot their continuity probably once every 5 to 10 years. Or at least make major retcons. Otherwise, I really have to ask some real questions. Like, why in the fuck was Lois Lane writing newspapers on a typewriter? Who does that? Like, what's the point? Is she just all super new wave retro? Because that's in the continuity. If we don't reset the continuity, if we don't make changes, then she did that shit. Or we have to deal with the fact that Superman and Lois are actually like in their 90s or some shit. Because if we don't reset the continuity, then we have to deal with the fact that they were right there for certain historical icons and certain moments that actually took place. We have to accept the fact that Parker was a teenager in the 60s, by current continuity, he wasn't. We've done away with that idea. But in the original continuity, I believe there were comics where he wondered whether or not he should be going to Vietnam. If he should enlist. And if he had that question, then Parker is old. Like, Parker is like a 40 or 50-year-old man at this point. But we don't do that. We reset and retcon the continuity. He never had to ask that question. Because of course he didn't. He's only like 20-something. Yes, it is necessary. These characters don't age. It's very necessary. If the characters don't age, then I have to assume that the continuity makes absolutely no sense, because 10 years of a character's, even if you told me that each comic book is a day, years are still passing, and we have to come across a point where we look and we see like weird things that characters do, like that just make no sense. Like, we have to understand that back when Parker and Mary Jane first met and they started hanging out, she actually dressed like that. And she actually said things like, "Cool, Daddy-O." What the fuck was her problem? Because if I'm going to accept all continuity, then I have to accept that she actually was that person. That those comics that happened all the way back then, that's exactly how they happened. Because that's the continuity. The character was like that. So she was like this... What do you call those people? There's a legitimate name for them. That's going to hurt me bad. Oh. I survived it quite easily, actually. And that's just one character that we can call out. Oh, that hurt. That pedal dance was no joke. Some characters like Wolverine, we can get away with it. Some characters like Captain America, we can't get away with it. Because Captain America looks like he was a 26-year-old man or some shit like that by the time that he went into the ice. And then we're supposed to unthaw him. And by the way, Captain America, he went to Vietnam. And now it's 2021, and we're supposed to believe that the continuity doesn't need reset, that we don't need to wake him up a little later, like maybe after Vietnam, maybe he missed that. Because I'm thinking that it's pretty damn important that he probably not have been a part of that. Otherwise, I have to start questioning their age. And I have to start realizing that at some point, we need to address their age, and the only way we can do that is through retconning. It's ridiculous. Unless they're just they just don't age. None of them age. For whatever reason, none of them age. Wonder if this Mega Drain is like 5 or something like that. That would be bothersome. But that's my poison move. I'm not getting rid of that. Well, we're going to take a chance. Hopefully I didn't just screw this character. Mega Drain, I think, is the one that's really weak. This one should probably have at least 15 on it. Mega 10. Okay. Worse off than I thought, but maybe we'll find some of those PP ups and we'll help him out. I don't know. Do you want to play around with that idea? Maybe. But that's also why we have Elseworld books. Because they do play around with those ideas. They're constantly going, what if this guy died, or what if it happened this way, or what if these situations, or what if that. They've been doing Elseworld stories for so damn long now. That's nothing new. They do that. But at some point, if you don't reset the status quo, you're going to run out of things. You're going to lose your audience. What? What, Lexi? Yeah? Okay, baby. We'll do that. That's fine. Here, let me save. Let me save, puppy. pretty good progress. We'll run through more of the gyms later, because now we're pretty much on that home stretch of just knocking out the gyms. I know. I'm signing off right now. I'm doing it, okay? All right? Want to relax? Later on, people.